Hi, how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. Today is Monday, August 21st. Beautiful beach day here at Narragansett. Took a dip in the beautiful ocean 2 times. It was great. What a difference a day makes from yesterday, where all of the lots, every single one of the lots was, fully occupied basically, and there was actually lines waiting to get into the parking lot. So today you'll see, even though to me it's a beautiful beach day, it's obviously a weekday. And this is what I've been saying pretty much. I've been saying this basically throughout the summer. On the weekdays, these lots, people are working and the lots have space available. So I'm going to take a quick look at the the parking lots, see what the space available. Then I'm going to take a tour of the beach. Beach is definitely not overcrowded. Even yesterday, when all the lots were filled to capacity, all the parking along all the area streets where we have untimed parking was filled to capacity. We didn't have overcrowding on the beach. So for those people who are saying we have to have time parking, we have to have more restrictions because our beach is overcrowded, it's unsafe. There were little kids walking around, toddlers, even preteens and parents with all their families, and everyone was having a great time. Nobody says the beach is unsafe. Nobody felt the beach was unsafe. There were no announcements by the lifeguards. We have overcapacity at our beach today. It's unsafe. You got to watch out because the number of people is making the overcrowding. It's an unsafe condition. None of that was heard. So this is the reality. This is why I have to do these live feeds. In any event, I want to bring the truth out to people so that we don't have more restrictions on our beautiful beach. So people want to come to the beach. It's a gift from God. It's a blessing that we have. And we have time parking restrictions in the future. Our brothers and sisters from South Kingstown, North Kingstown, any of our area cities or towns, they want to come to our beach, pay for the admission, because you still have to pay for the admission. If they park on the area roads. And also a lot of people, like on a day like today, both lots are reserved exclusively for residents. The north and south lot. You have to use the west lot. You have to use the west lot if you are a non-resident. And I say on the weekdays, if a lot is 50% empty, like we have today, let's open one of the lots for non-residents. Let's be beach friendly. Let's be family friendly. Let's welcome people. The summer is such a short season, and we should welcome people to Narragansett Beach. Welcome to the Pier. It's with open arms. Not everyone can afford to live in Narragansett. Let's face it. And that's the reality. If most of us, including myself, if our parents didn't buy down here when we were younger and whatnot, and a lot of us wouldn't even be able to afford it. That's the reality of life. But some of us have been blessed here. But let's also reach out to those people who might not have been so blessed, and so they can enjoy our beautiful little bit of heaven on earth. That's what I call it, a little bit of heaven on earth. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the parking lots, and we'll take a tour of the beach. Thank you. Okay, this is the south parking lot. Taking a tour of it here right now. As all you can see, it's I would say, I don't even know if it's 50%. I'll let you guys decide, but I wouldn't even say it's 50% full. Without knowing the exact number of cars here, you could go by eye, but there's a lot of open spaces available. There is a Narragansett Town Council meeting I hope some of you can watch it this evening. The link and information is posted on the Narragansett Town Council forum page. And that page is basically, pretty much exclusive. We don't even really have advertisements or anything or promotions on that page. That's basically just for Narragansett Town Council discussion, motions and ordinances that they're putting in place. This is what that page is all about. So if you want to join that page, feel free, you're welcome. We have close to 1,900 members on that page. If you cannot make the meeting tonight, it's a live YouTube link. You can click on that live YouTube link. And upon clicking on that link, that will allow you to view the town council meeting. I welcome you all to that meeting. If any of you are from South Kingstown, North Kingstown, or not even from Narragansett, and you want to speak about anything about Narragansett during the open forum, you have 3 minutes to speak. Okay, now let's look at this lot. This is called the North Lot. Now look at the open space here. Am I making this up or what? Yeah, this lot is reserved exclusively for residents. So if you're a non-resident, you have to park across the way at the west lot. Now, I wonder if all of you can see that sign across the way there. Okay, basically says the west lot is full. See that? The west lot is full. So therefore, people argue that if people are not willing to pay, people argue people are not willing to pay, so they're all going to park. They're all going to park on the streets. So this is why some people say we should have time parking. People say we should have time parking because no one, all those people who want to park, they all want to park for free. All non-residents want to park for free. But that's not the case. Why is the west lot full? Well, then somebody argue, well, there's no spaces available. There's no other spaces available. Well, why don't we make spaces available? Let's make this lot available so more people can park and pay to use our lot. Why have all these spaces available when we have the west lot, which is for non-residents? That's close to capacity. Look at the spaces available here in this lot, both lots. So let's open up both lots, or at least this lot, one lot I would say. Open up one lot. This way here, you'll keep everyone happy. Let's open up this huge lot right here. If the west lot becomes full, even if it's not full, on a day like today, after a certain period of time, you can tell this lot is not going to get full today, right? Residents and non-residents. But now, if you're a non-resident and you feel comfortable paying for parking, right? And you see that west lot is full, what are you going to do? You're going to go to a different beach, right? You might not want to be able to walk, or you might not want to walk along Ocean Road or any kind of a distance because it's going to be a walk. If you have kids, if you have elderly. So if the west lot is full and the north and south lot aren't available for a non-resident to park, people might go to a different beach. So therefore, I've been arguing this on many of my videos. If we have on weekdays, these lots basically show you that we have more than enough space available. So let's have one of them open for non-residents to make it easy for the non-residents. You know, they're still going to have to pay. It's like, we're not saying you're going to be parking for free. They're still going to have to pay to get into the lots, but at least it's going to be making it easier for them. Now, if people love Narragansett Beach and the west lot is full, their only option is to find a place along the road. Now, next year, if we have signage all over the place, a lot of these people are, you know, if they can even find a place along the nearby streets, but if in fact they can even find a place, you know, next year they'll be time limited. They'll be time limited to 3 hours. So if we can have a day like today where people would love to park in either the north or the south lot, but they won't be able to. You have to force to park along one of the area roads that has this signage. Supposedly they bought 170 signs with the time limit of 3 hours. I just don't get it. I cannot wrap my hand around this. And then the reason why they're saying this is because our beaches are unsafe. Well, yesterday we didn't have any 3-hour time limit. In the areas that had 2-hour signage, the areas on the streets that have 2-hour signage, it was bumper to bumper. But sadly, some of those people got a $50 ticket. Why do we want to do this to our neighbors? Our brothers and sisters of South Kingstown who are close to us. We go to their supermarkets. We go to their doctors. Right? The kids in Narragansett compete. They're friends with their buddies or their girlfriends. Right in South Kingstown. So next year, with the 3-hour signage, if they can't park their car, you know, in the north or south lots, the west lot is full, they're going to park along our area roads, and then the town is going to hit them with a $50 ticket if they're there for longer than 3 hours. I mean, we got signage on Memorial Square, and on Memorial Square, there's only 2-hour limit. And yesterday, some of those people got hit. They got hit with the ticket. I don't think Narragansett needs money that bad to have to, you know, hit people up with tickets. And everyone who parks there, we don't know their family situation. They might be, you know, struggling, paying paycheck to paycheck. And yesterday, all the lots had waiting lines. All of them. The north lot, the south lot, and the west lot. So you can watch yesterday's video if you don't believe me. So even with people waiting to park in our lots, with every spot, virtually every single spot out there occupied by a car, the beach wasn't unsafe. It wasn't overcrowded. Like I said, I've been going to this beach since I was a kid. I got to call it the way it is. And not only that, signage is ugly. So not only are we going to be, you know, a negative by giving people tickets, another negative is along Ocean Road, we're going to see ugly signage. And you will clearly see where we have signage already on Memorial Square it's not deterring people from parking there. When people want to go to the beach, they're going to take their chance. Be like a little Russian roulette. I may or may not get a ticket, but if I do, you know, I'm going to take my chances. So here we are. Some of these cars, we don't know, we can't get in everyone's brain, but some of these cars, they had kids, elderly, or whatever it might be, you know. Some of them might be parking in the north and south lot. I had one lady, I'll just give you her name, her first name's Catherine. She goes, that's not the case. Any car that parks along Ocean Road, and I've had other people tell me, any car that parks along Ocean Road, they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay. If that's the case, then why do we have two lots restricted to residents only? The north and south lot, our two largest lots, are restricted to residents only. Okay. I just found there's a space available right now. A car's pulling in right now, so we do have one space available over here, but that's quickly being taken. Okay, I'm just reporting the facts. If this person obviously that just pulled in there was not from Narragansett, of course they're gonna want to park over here, right? There's nowhere else to park. If you're not a Narragansett resident, you don't have any alternative to park on area streets. And yet next year, they want to put signage along a lot of our area streets, and it's just shaking my head in disbelief. We've all seen, for those of you who have not heard, in Galilee, the town of Rhode Island, and myself, and many others in our town, have been fighting Procaciante Paolino. He wanted to make the whole area a street level. He wanted to make the whole area a street level parking lot. Unsightly. We couldn't believe it. How much money does this guy need? He's got $10 billion. He and Joe Paolino, they got $10 billion in real estate investment assets. That's $1 billion. And yet he's still fighting in court. Okay? They're still fighting in court because they don't want to give up. They don't want to give up their parking lot, their street level parking lot. Okay? So here you go. Y'all can see that again. 2-hour parking. May 15th, September 15th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay? Are these cars discouraged from parking here? Are these people, by the time they get out of their car, by the time they make it to the beach, only going to be here for 2 hours? You got one space available over there, or we had one space available a second ago on Ocean Road, right? But as you can see, we got cars parking in this area. Okay. So what I've shown throughout this summer is that the signage is not discouraging people. As you can see within a second, that car is being occupied. Now this person has a New York plate. If he or she wanted to park in the north or south lot right now, they could not. The west lot is full. I showed you all the sign. Why do we even have 2-hour restricted parking on this road? To me, it makes absolutely no sense. If I was on the town council, I'd have it removed. Let the people who want to enjoy our beautiful beach in the Pier, let them enjoy it. Procaciante wanted to make 5 acres of Galilee, a street level parking. He had an abandoned lighthouse in. It's still there. It's an economic, environmental, and health hazard. It's not being demolished yet. He created it. You just can't make this up. You can't make this up. Our town doesn't need to make money on traffic tickets, on parking tickets, for people who are violating an ordinance, a 2-hour or 3-hour ordinance. I just don't get it. Check out that cool car. Neat. I don't know what it is. What is that? That's not a car, but what do you call that? A tri-car. No, a tri-car? I don't know. What's the term for that? Some kind of... looks like a little recreational vehicle, but it's not that. I don't know what you call those vehicles. Okay. His Coast Guard house. These people aren't having any problem finding parking for this. They have their own valet. Which they should. They should have their own valet. When I go to Atwells Avenue, Providence, Casarinos, any of those places, all you got to do is see they got valet parking all the time. They'll take your car and they'll park it for you and they bring it back. That's what established restaurants do. Okay, so this is our beautiful view. Next year, on a day like today, next year, in August, we have signage posted all along this beautiful road and all the area streets. The west lot is occupied. The north and the south lot are for residents only. We're going to have signage pollution on this beautiful road. So we're going to have signs like that 2-hour parking with the hours specified, lining this beautiful road every day of the year. Right? We have a short season, so we're going to have to see that ugly signage. People who park here to enjoy a beautiful day at the beach with their family and loved ones, if they don't make it back, they're going to have less than 3 hours to be on the beach. Anyone can do a walk, even if you're a speed walker. By the time you get your stuff out of your car, you got your family, you got the little kids, right? They're going to have less than 3 hours next year. Right. Disculpe. Gracias. Hola, ¿cómo está? Bien, ¿usted? Estoy bien, gracias. 10 de Venegas. Okay, here we are. Beautiful family there. They have a little kid. Wonderful time. Next year, they're going to be parking along this beautiful road. There's a potential that they're going to be hit with a $50 ticket. That's a sad reality. If we took a vote for, I've lived here all my life. I know Narragansett residents very well. Most of us are all caring, empathetic, loving people. A lot of us did not come here with a lot of wealth. There are people like myself, maybe bought a house here many, many, many years ago. My father, my mother, whatever, it could be a grandmother, right? So we have humble roots. My dad was a hairstylist. He would work 2 jobs. You know, he was a businessman too. He was an entrepreneur. He had a place on the east side, then he had a place down here along Ocean Road. He'd walk down the Ocean Road, he'd be saying his rosary, right? My mom and dad, I have to thank them for my faith. And regardless of what faith you have, you know, if you believe in Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, you know, they all have a common Hyundai. They all have a common thread. Let's be charitable. Treat our brothers and sisters on this world like we want to be treated. You know? Okay, we got a space available over here. We have a couple of spaces available right here, down here. So those who argue if we don't have signage, this is another argument. If we don't have signage along Ocean Road during the summertime, you are not going to find a spot available. We have more spaces available along Ocean Road right here than on a percentage basis it was available where they had the signage. Where they had the signage, there was that one space available, and that one space got occupied really quickly. Okay? Today's a beautiful day, but people work. So we're going to have all this signage along Ocean Road and all of our area roads, when how many days out of the year are like yesterday, and even yesterday, when every single spot was taken along all the area streets in Ocean Road, the beach still was not overcrowded. And one of the primary arguments these people are arguing to have signage along our beautiful roads, our area roads, we have to control the crowds. We have to control the crowds. Because they argue, I've heard residents tell me, they message me on Facebook, how can you argue in opposition to signage? During the summertime, I can't find a spot. I'm a resident. I'm an elderly person, right? I can't find a spot to park my car along Ocean Road, right? If all those people were complaining, why do we have all these spots available? I'm not making this up. And yet they're adamant, we need signage along a beautiful stretch of Ocean Road. The ocean has always given me peace. Let's face it, we all have issues in our lives, we all have stress in our lives, we all have problems in our lives. But the ocean is therapeutic to many of us. So why are we taking this beautiful bit of heaven that is given to us for everyone to enjoy? You know, it's not ours. We don't own the ocean. We don't own the ocean. So why do we want to put signage up here and signage all around the area streets? And take enjoyment away from people who might need the solitude. From a family, maybe from Providence, who loves Narragansett Beach and who's even willing to pay to get on Narragansett Beach. But they want to get down here and they want to save a little money without having to go pay in the parking lots. Why do we want to, if they can save $10 on a weekday or $15 on a weekend, I'm all for that. They're still going to have to pay for the admission ticket to get onto the beach. And if they want to do that, fine. But if they can save some money without having to pay for parking, let them do that. Narragansett's taxes are some of the lowest in the state. I mean, I just don't get it. Like I said, I've been fighting James Procaccianti and Joe Paolino. You know, now we're going to, now they're going to court. The Rhode Island Attorney General's Office, the RIDEM, and even the town of Narragansett. Because of what they've done in Galilee. They created the largest eyesore, the greatest environmental, economic, and health hazard on Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management leased land in the history of the United States. And it's a $10 billion company. Have they inconvenienced us, Procaccianti and Paolino? They did. Do we feel all good that they created the abandoned Lighthouse Inn and all the area businesses have to suffer because of that, and all the people who live in that area? Are we happy they did that? Because they want to make more and more money? I'm not happy about it at all. I think it's very sad. And next year we're going to have signage in Narragansett, our town. Are we following the same playbook as Procaccianti Paolino? Where we're going to make life miserable for people, we're going to have sign pollution along our roads, and not only that, but families that want to enjoy a beautiful day at the beach. Conceivably, we were getting hit with a $50 ticket. I mean, our summer season in Rhode Island is very short. Our days are precious. So why are we putting a burden and going to make one of those days when someone goes to Narragansett Beach for a family from Providence, Pawtucket, anywhere? Could be even local, North Kingstown, South Kingstown, wherever it might be. At the end of the beach day, they had a wonderful day at the beach. Then they go to their car and they get hit with a $50 ticket. $50 ticket. Right? And then we're going to have signage pollution along all of our streets. Instead of having this beautiful, unobstructed view of the ocean, we're going to have this ugly signage. We have a small cohort of individuals. One was called the Narragansett Pier Residents Association. Now I think it's just called the Narragansett Residents Association. We have some people who've been elected on commissions for the town of Narragansett. One is on a committee called the Friends of the Narragansett Town Beach. Right? And she's fully supportive. She's fully supportive of more signage, more restrictions. If any of you did not get a copy of this week's South County Independent or the Narragansett Times, my article was printed in both papers. I want to thank both the local papers for printing the article. And the article is about the cancellation of movie night. You know? And I have great respect for our leaders. The police chief, town manager, Director Kershaw, our town council members. I have great respect for them. But, you know, we have to, you know, think things through. Sometimes get opinions from family members who went to the beach. You know, we have the Our Town Narragansett page. We put a poll out there. You know, I composed a letter of different ways. You know, just doing some minor modifications to prevent another incident like that happen, to lessen the chance. I've been 34 years working with adjudicated students. You know, I've had to deal with some troubled students and troubled adolescents. And I recognize if you give them, they're all wonderful people, by the way, you know, even though they've been served to, they've had to serve some time in the courts, you know. I tell my students to pray for me, because we're all sinners. In fact, I ask each of you to pray for me and my family. You know, all of us have to ask God for forgiveness. You know, none of us are better than anyone else. And the people who got in the fights, they were kids, right? So let's give them some direction. Let's make an announcement before the movie's on the beach. Let's consider hiring a couple of police for details. You know? We could have a sign at the entranceway, you know, listing some rules. You know, they have one about no smoking marijuana, aka cannabis. You know, that's a sign on the beach. So for movie night, they could say no horseplay, no drinking, alcoholic beverages, only water, bottled water is permitted. You know? Any violations to these rules will permanently ban you from going to movies on the night, the movies on the beach. You know? Look, people argue with me. You're wrong. Every day during the summer, you can't find a spot to park. Cars park there from 8 in the morning to 5 along Ocean Road. Well, look, the sun is shining today. It's a beautiful day. We're in August. We've got a lot of rain days this summer, right? So you would think everyone who has a chance to go to the beach today will be here. And then you have residents say, I don't want to pay for the $50 parking pass. I want to park along Ocean Road. And I can't do that. Well, how come if that's the case, all those people complaining, why do we have all these spaces available along beautiful Ocean Road? I mean, I'm not making this video up, people. Right? I'm not photoshopping. You can't Photoshop. I know we have AI intelligence and everything else, but I don't know if people can I guess you could somehow Photoshop a live video. I don't know. That'd be a good question. I'll have to Google that, but it'd be pretty tough to do. You know? So I strongly recommend, if you are a Narragansett resident, that even if you're not a Narragansett resident, reach out to our town council, email or something, or make a phone call, tell them you're watching these videos. Tell them we don't need more signage along beautiful Ocean Road. We don't need more signage around our area beaches. Let the people enjoy a beautiful day at the beach. We've been around for how many hundreds of years? Narragansett. What year was Narragansett established? I don't know. If someone can Google that and post that, when the town of Narragansett was established. I know at one time, Narragansett and South Kingstown, we were actually all one, right? So literally one time we were all one town, then we separated over the years. So I don't know what year the town of Narragansett was established, but we have, along Ocean Road, properties that will go for probably $1 billion. Right? $1 billion property, right? Nowadays, if you even look at a small house in Narragansett, some of them are selling for like very expensive, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, right? That's the new reality of properties in Narragansett. Right? Property is going up, right? So you get the revenue in because you have some of these properties that are worth so much money. We've had some actresses and actors that bought property in Narragansett along Ocean Road. Probably multi-million-dollar properties, right? I would think. I think they'd be multi-million-dollar properties. So do we have to go after these people for parking over 3 hours, or where we have signage now over 2 hours? Yesterday when I did the video, I showed people the tickets for these people who got hit with the ticket. So after a beautiful day on the beach, they got the orange sticker on their car, the orange tag. It's a family with 2 or 3 kids, 1 kid, even 1 child. It doesn't even have to be it could be a single person. It could be a single person down on his luck or her luck, out of work, came down to Narragansett for the day to have a beautiful time at Narragansett Beach. And they figured, you know what, I'm going to splurge. I'm going to spend a little extra money to go on Narragansett Beach because I love it. I'm going to pay the $12 per person admission ticket. And then on top of that, they get hit with the $50 ticket. I mean, I don't get it. And some of these people who are complaining about the crowds on Narragansett Beach, they own the cabana. They rent the cabanas. So they rent the cabanas every year. The cabanas, I don't know how much they're going for now. I don't know if it's $2,500. I don't even know what the, you know. So they got their own nice little cabana area, you know. But what's ironic is in front of that cabana area, there's a section of the beach which is virtually, it's hardly ever occupied. It's hardly ever occupied with beachgoers. So these people who are complaining or renting the cabanas out, spending good money on the cabanas, if they're so concerned about the crowds on the beach, why aren't they putting their blankets right next to their cabana area? It's virtually empty. Virtually empty. You might have, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 people there putting their blankets down over there. So why are these people who are complaining about crowds and who are supportive of the carrying capacity study, they're so concerned about crowds, why aren't they parking in the VIP section? I don't get it. Or they are parking, excuse me, they're parking in the, I'm looking around this view here, they're parking in the VIP section, don't get me wrong, but, and actually some of them are parking in the VIP section. A lot of those cabana holders, the amount of times they go to the beach, you could count on one hand. The reason why I say that, the cabana parking lot is empty more times than not. In fact, some people say, why don't we open the cabana parking lot? Have that open when we have overflow days like yesterday. But if they're paying the high price to own a cabana and they're concerned about crowds, why are they not putting their blanket down in that area? And yet they're the ones who are shouting to the town council and arguing to the town council, we need more restrictive parking. Well, why are they saying we need more restricted parking when they can park? They have a VIP parking area. They can park their cars anytime they want in the VIP section. So parking's a non-issue for them. So if parking's a non-issue for them, why are they so concerned about where other people are parking? Can anyone explain that to me? If I had spent the money to have a cabana, which even if I had the money, I hear the waiting list is crazy. Okay. But the reality is, now all of us just saw the amount of open space along Ocean Road, right? We didn't have any signage there, right? Unlimited parking. Over here, where we do have signage, right? We have 2 hours, only 2 hours. How many of these cars along this road are going to be taking their gear, their supplies, going to Narragansett Beach. By the time they get to the beach, by the time they settle down, how many of these people are going to be back within that 2-hour time frame? We have more spaces available along Ocean Road where there's no signage. Right? You all saw that. If you didn't see that and you jumped onto this video late, look at where I was just walking several minutes ago. Okay? We have like every spot available, every spot occupied here. We got every spot available occupied. Now that's the post office, so that there's 12-minute parking right there, and they should have 12-minute parking right there. That's a good sign. I support that signage. See, post office parking, 12 minutes. Right? Look at as we walk up the way. You got parking on both sides of the road over there too. Right? So, for people who argue that signage is gonna create more open spaces, do we see more open spaces right now along Memorial Square? I mean, this isn't rocket science. This is like Logic 101, right? I mean, I never took my LSATs because I was never going to law. I did have to take my Miller Analogies test for my master's, and I had to take my GREs for my PhD work. But this wouldn't be a hard logic question on the LSAT test. Is time parking signage working along the area roads? Will it work? Is it going to bring hardship to people who visit Narragansett Beach with their family? Is it going to make some people feel very sad about Narragansett and their policies? Is it going to make people feel happy about our leaders and everyone who's been instrumental in supporting more signage? Is everyone going to say, yes, they did a great job? They're very supportive of tourism and people who visit from other towns. They're very supportive of that. Are they going to say this? I'll let you decide. I'll let you decide. So what's ironic is some of the more vocal people who want signage, some of the most vocal people who want restricted parking in our parking lots, the north and south lot, they rent out the cabanas. I could say like they own it because these people have these cabana rentals, they never want to give them up. They'll pass them from one generation to another. So how ironic is that? These people who have their own VIP parking space, so they don't have to fight about parking. In the area where the cabanas are located, they have the most wide open space of sand on the beach, where none of them park their blankets. So if they have the phobia of crowds, or they feel it's unsafe to be around crowds, why isn't that area loaded up with all those the people who are renting out those cabanas? Right? These are their concerns. Why does a small cohort, it appears, why is a small cohort of individuals, such as the Narragansett Pier Residents Association, I think they just changed the name because they thought that was too exclusive. So they want to make their club or their organization less inclusive, less exclusive. Want to make it less exclusive, so now they changed the name. I think now it's called the Narragansett Residents Association. But if you look at the percentage of people who are a member of that group relative to all the people, who live in Narragansett. It's a very small amount. Very small amount. Very small percentage. So any kind of survey that they hold or have is not statistically significant. Research 101 says small sample sizing is ultimately biased. Right? You cannot have a small sample size. If we went to Texas today and said, who'd be our next president? Or who do you want to be our next president? What are you going to get? Donald Trump. You go to Rhode Island and Massachusetts. Who do we want? Biden. Right? So small, unless you have a randomized sampling, unless you have a vote, and this is why we took a vote for our library. We actually said we had an opposition to our modern state library, right? Got a modern state multi-million-dollar library. We had opposition to that. So the town leader says, we have to bring this out to vote. And the people voted. And guess what? They showed everyone that we want this library. It'll be good for our town. Right? We recognize that if we just listened to the people who were against it, that's not a representation. And here we are at Narragansett Beach. Beautiful day. Does this look overcrowded to you? I mean, even yesterday, when there wasn't a spot to be found to park. If you watch yesterday's video, nobody was leaving. Nobody picked up their kids and said, we gotta leave, it's unsafe, it's unhealthy. There were spaces available to park your blanket yesterday. I showed them on the video. Check it out. Then people try to argue, oh, it was low tide. I mean, how many people in front of me right now are parking their blanket in this area? How many people yesterday were parking their blanket in this area? If it's low tide or high tide, people don't usually want to put their blankets down where there's like mud. But they try to make excuses. When I show them visuals of the openness of the beach and how it's not overcrowded, they'll try to spin it any which way they can, right? Look at the amount of open space between people. See that? Look in the back there. See? Look at that area. Right? Plenty of open space. And yet people are saying we need more signage. Our beach is overcrowded. I encourage you, please, reach out to every one of our town council members. You know? I'm sure they want to get reelected. You know? They have a lot of work to do. They're volunteers, right? So, you know, I'll encourage them, you know, to watch these videos. Because a lot of times, they don't have the time to go to the beach. They might be working all day. So if the most vocal group, if there's 100, 200 of them, if they flood them with emails, they call the town manager up and say, please, we got to get control over Narragansett Beach. It's too crowded. It's unsafe. And this is all they hear. Then they go and implement policies that are untrue. Right? That are false. We have tons of children here today, little ones, toddlers. Word would get out very quick if people felt Narragansett Beach was unsafe. It'll make the news, it'll make the Journal, it'll make the Boston Globe. Brian Emerald, thanks for covering so much news for us. I should encourage Brian Amorwell to watch my videos so he can do a follow-up piece. You know? Hey, I have great respect for all of our town council members. You know? And this is why I want to take these videos, to show them, to put light on the subject. I have a great respect for Mike DeLuca. And I read Mike DeLuca says, you know, we have to get control. We have to have more signage because that's going to control the crowds. Mike, if you know Mike DeLuca, tell him to watch my videos. Okay, tell him. Tell him Dr. Albert can show you that timed parking is not going to help Narragansett. It's going to hurt Narragansett. Right? We all can see, you know, areas of open space here, right? People are not on top of one another, you know? If someone wants a little more space between themselves, get one of those little cabanas there. A mini cabana. I don't know what they call them. I don't know what they call these little things. What's the name of them anyway? Let me look at the name of them. Well, this is called Cool Cabanas. Go on Amazon. Get yourself a coolcabanas.com. Google coolcabanas.com. If you're concerned and you want a little bit more space between you. I mean, buy an oversized blanket. If you have a phobia to people, you know, parking their blankets, you know, 5 feet from you. I don't know. Well, let's not impose restrictions on everyone who wants to come to the beach, because we have some of these people who are saying our beaches are overcrowded during the summer. Right? We had to take video of Galilee. In fact, our council president took some video of the former Lighthouse Inn because it was in such disrepair. So she and her husband, Thomas Mann, knew all about taking videos to get the facts right. Right? So they showed a video of how disheveled, how worn down the Lighthouse Inn was located. Right? Well, that was good. Let's see the videos. I want to, you know, as people say, let's see the proof. Okay, Council President, here is our proof. All right? Here we go, Councilwoman Joe Lawler. Here is our proof. Is our beach overcrowded? Does it appear overcrowded to you? Were there places to find parking today along Ocean Road? When you hear everyone who's supportive of signage saying during the summertime you cannot find a place to park. How many days during the summer it's like that, you know? On the weekends, yes, it's very difficult. But on the weekdays, there's been space available. You want to drive around a few times, you might not get it the first time around. But even if you watched my video yesterday, I was able to find a spot. And believe me, I'm pretty frugal. If it took me too long, I would have just went home for the day. I'm not going to spend money on gas. Gas is expensive, right? First time down the road, I found a spot open yesterday. There were not a lot of spots available. In fact, there were cars waiting in line, but I found a place to park my car yesterday. We have a crowd control. Thomas Mann, the chairperson of Parks and Recreation, which if you watch my speech today, I'll quote him from an article he stated in the paper. We have an issue with crowds. There's been a concern about crowds and the amount of people on the beach creating a safety hazard. There's concern that could be a safety hazard Well, please invite Mr. Man, who has a cabana, who has one of the VIP cabanas, where he has a VIP parking lot. Invite him to watch this video. Maybe he goes to the beach. Maybe he just goes to the beach so infrequently he's unaware. And because he's a chairperson of one of the commissions, maybe people are feeding him misinformation. Right? Dr. Scowcroft. Right? She's on the Friends of Town of Narragansett Beach. She's the chair of it. So when you hear that, you'd say, wow, she's a chairperson. She's making these comments and suggestions. She must be the leading expert. Right? We have to have a carrying capacity study. Right? We have to have a carrying capacity study because the beach has been more and more crowded over the years. The beach is more and more crowded. You know? But then they might argue, well, if the town sells, 1,000 resident season parking passes, and we only have 400, 500, 600, whatever it might be, parking spaces available. Well, one can clearly see on a day like today, if you go look at the beginning of my video, we had more than 50% of both lots empty. For the last 3 years, I bought a resident parking lot and a beach parking pass. And I went to the beach about 5 times. So here's where the VIP cabanas are located, okay? So if these people are going to be spending that kind of money, I don't know what it is, $2,500, whatever, per season, you think this entire area, and they love the beach so much that they're spending that kind of money, you would think this area here would be filled with people who are spending that kind of money. And yeah, some of the people who rent out year after year after year these VIP cabanas, they're the ones who are complaining. They're complaining we have to have more restrictive parking. Parking doesn't even concern them. They have a VIP parking space. It's a non-issue. So in any event, I hope you enjoy my tour. I hope you can see we do not have concerns about, we do not have issues related to crowding on the beach. So I want to thank you so much.
I just want to say, when you film people that are maybe victims of domestic violence, it's not really good to post that on Twitter.
Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you. So I have some people who are against me doing the daily videos to bring light onto the subject. I respect everyone's decision. But all of you can see, I'm trying to bring forth clarity to the situation. I'm trying to bring the truth to the situation. We have a beautiful beach here. Let us share this beach with everyone who wants to enjoy it, who everyone wants to pay to get onto the beach. If they're non-resident, let them pay to get onto the beach. I have no issues with that. It is a town beach. If anyone wants to pay for parking during the weekdays like today, the west lot was full. Let's open up one of the lots so non-residents, if you have children, if you have a senior family member who's handicapped. In fact, you don't even have to be a senior. You could be handicapped yourself. I have a cousin who has MS, has great difficulty walking around, right? She wanted to spend the day at the beach and drive to the beach, and she was restricted to go into the west lot. That would preclude her from going. because of the length of the walk. All right, this is the reality. Not all of us are blessed with good health. Every day is a blessing. Beach therapy is very good for the soul and mind and body, right? Great to see people give me the thumbs up, keep videotaping, keep giving commentary. You know, that's a valuable thing. That inspires me, you know, to my dad in heaven, Albert Alba Sr., he was a strong advocate on many issues. Please encourage all of the town council members to watch these videos if they have not already done so. Please encourage them to listen to the will of the people. If we listen to the vocal minority regarding our library, it would have never been built. We would have never put it on the ballot, right, to be voted upon. All we have to do is look at the polls on the Narragansett Town Council forum page, and they speak volumes. I have people seeing me who I've never even met will approach me and thank me. I would like to thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you for being members of the Our Town Narragansett page. God bless you all. God bless all of our leaders, our president, our governor, our senators, representatives, town manager, town council members, all our appointed and elected officials. We have to pray for all of them as well. Pray for my family. Let's hope they're going to do what's right for not only the people of Narragansett, but for everyone who enjoys our beautiful town. Right? We want a win-win situation. What's been working for years, since the inception of when the town of Narragansett was originally, when it separated, I don't know the origination date, but if it's been working for years, why do we want to change it? If it's not broken, don't fix it. Thank you and God bless you. Have a good day.